Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of this week's Pipes. Pretty warm this week. Most days have been pretty warm. Today's been one of the warmer days of a warm week. Had some rain, but yeah, it still stayed really warm. I'm smoking some Freeborg and Treya Special Brown Flake. Really well presented flake. Love it. Just really lovely tobacco smell. Sweet. I'll read you the description actually. This sample was given to me by Ian Walker of Northern Briars. So I don't have the whole tin, and I don't have the tin description, so I had to look online. And it says, so a mixture of red mottled Virginias, I don't know what mottled Virginias are, golden Carolina flue-cured leaf, blended with small quantities of Turkish Havana. I can only assume that's the cigar leaf. And medium strength dark fried Kentucky. With a little rum. That makes a lot of sense to me. It starts off quite sweet, so I guess the rum topping comes through first. It doesn't last very long, because of the other components, it doesn't feel like a navy flake or something like that. And it pretty soon gets quite spicy, quite warm and peppery, but not a flavour that I would associate weirdly with cigars. It doesn't have that cigar flavour that you get in blends that say that they've got some kind of Cuban leaf in or something like that. So either the Havana leaf is not the leaf that gives the cigar its main flavour, or the Turkish Havana I've just misguessed, and it's not a cigar leaf at all. Some of you guys, I'm sure, will know a lot better. I'm not a cigar aficionado. I smoke about one a year, maybe two, on a cigar-heavy year. This is quite spicy. The pepper is quite forward. Pleasant, but quite forward. I think it's very it's very nice. If it was much more forward, might be tempted to call it acrid, but it's not there. It's not. I wouldn't call it mellow though. This is not a mellow blend. It's not like it's not mellow and smooth. It's got that sort of prickle, a spicy prickle to it. But it's quite warm and sort of cinnamon-like, so it's kind of comforting. But I think that maybe the strength of the blend stops it being a really sort of comforting blend. This is more like an after-dinner smoke. I would sort of think of it like that. You know, it feels quite full, but spicy. It lacks a little depth, I would say. So maybe, despite all the blends that are in, all the components that are in there, it's missing a bit of perique or burley, something to round out the bottom. But very nice. Oh, and yeah, okay, and the rum does come back a little bit. Sort of when you stop for a moment, you go, oh yeah, it's kind of like on the tongue. It is on the bit on the retrohale. Where would I put this to the other Fribourg and tray it? It doesn't beat the vintage Flake for me. But then none of the other ones have come close to the vintage Flake. But this is a very different beast. I can see that I might smoke this a bit. Maybe in colder temperatures, I'm thinking. So yeah, sweet, let's call it, okay. Sweet, spicy, bit of cinnamon, bit of pepper, lacking a little body for me, lacking a little bottom end. So there you go. But it smokes really well. I like its smokiness. All right. Did you hear we've been having riots in England? We've been having riots from mad people. And a bit in Ireland, I've heard. But none in Scotland and none in Wales. I haven't really been keeping up with the news. I've just mainly been watching the Olympics. And yeah, but it's strange to think people rioting and looting in some of the cities. But like I said, I'm not exactly sure which cities. Like I say, I sort of like looked at the headlines and go, you know what, I don't really need to read that. But anyway, let's have a look at some pipes. Because let's face it, that's the important thing. Riots? Yeah. We'll find out about those later, maybe after the fact. But the important business is looking at some pipes. Now, I had a commission this week and I got 2 available. Now, this is weird. I made these 2 pipes and I photographed them. I even posted them on Instagram as available. And then it wouldn't stop niggling me. I couldn't work out. I wasn't happy with something. And in the end, me and Stefan Wolf went out for the day. And when I came back, I'd worked it out. I didn't like the finish on the pipes. I don't know why. I'd done the 2 that I'm going to show you first that are available. I'd done them in a contrast blast. But for whatever reason, even though at the time, when I was doing it, I was going, nice, I like that. But the longer I looked at them, the more I thought about them, the more I didn't like them. So I refinished them more simply. You'll see what I mean. I refinished them both the same way. And I'm much happier with them. I suppose they're less dramatic, but because the original was like a black and orange contrast, it was quite vibrant. I like that look sometimes. Usually I like it, but it just didn't work on these, which is a shame. But here they are, as they currently stand. So the first pipe that's available is a Prince. Now you can sort of see now, like the black of the stem now runs into the pipe, and it looks really like coherent, cohesive, and I think it like puts the focus on the texture of the pipe. The stem is Potoro marble, so black, gold, and white. I do love a Prince. Kind of a bit of a gnarly sandblast. I'm not going to call it craggy, because craggy tends to mean the depth between each ring. And this isn't like that. It's just more of like a craggy, like a gnarly finish. It's a gnarly sandblast. Maybe I can just readjust my light. That's a bit better. Loads of detail in the stem. Four-inch stem on this guy. So you can see, plenty of ring grain. Those are straight, but it is a kind of a gnarly sandblast. So a Prince. Haven't had a Prince to hand for a little while. Now my other problem this week is I've ordered some more bags, but they're not here yet. So for the time being, I've run out. I'm going to have to find something else to put this guy in. So I can't do it. Oh, maybe I'll do it like this. an author. And again, as I hope you can see, kind of a gnarly sandblast. Some nice depth to that. With an olive Cumberland stem. Sometimes I mention this. There is some DNA through line with princes and authors. I'm not quite sure. It might be like the top half of the bowl might be like really close, really similar to each other, I think anyway. But a very tactile, pleasing piece to hold. You just have to imagine this was once black and orange, and you might see what I mean. It kind of like didn't really work with the, maybe that was it. It wasn't really working with the stem colours. It might have been fine if the stems were just black, but I rarely do just black. You'll have to do a few more black stems. And then this week's commission. A reading pipe. It's been a hot minute since I've done a reading pipe. This is in the colours of the pipe of the year for the Speakeasy Pipe Club. There was just one chap there who wanted something different, but wanted the colours of the pipe of the year, but didn't want the shape. So this is for him. It's not an official Pipe Club pipe, it's just his pipe. Nice sandblast in cordovan. Nice bit of gnarly plateau. And then there's an ivory stem. And there you go. If you're not familiar with these, they are 7 inches, 7 or 7.5. Sometimes I forget. 7, yeah, close to 7.5. With a 2-inch chamber, so a pretty long smoke. It's a sitter, so loads of little details for sitting down and reading and letting the world go by. All right, so if you're interested in the prints or the author, email me at devilsreef@gmail.com and we'll have a little chat. Or if you don't email, you prefer, you could message me on one of the social medias, on Instagram or Facebook, If that's your preferred method, that's totally fine. All right. That's it from me. I'll be back next week, all being well. So, until then, take it very easy. Loyal pipe maker.